Hi, welcome back to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Mariandrea, and I have been away from my channel for a couple of weeks, and I am here to do a weekend review over the last 2 weeks, or from the last 2 weeks. So, since June 10th until today, June 23rd, I'm going to try to catch you up to what's been going on um, in my personal life as well as in my reading life. Um, on the channel, I tend to focus more on the reading life and don't go into too much of my personal life, but I feel like in the last 2 weeks, one has affected the other, and it's normal to need to let you in on what's going on. So, highlight. I always start this weekend review videos with highlights because I want to talk about the good stuff. So, had I made a weekend review video last weekend, you would have heard that the highlight of that first week, from June 10th through the 16th, 17th, would have been that I had a wonderful time at a family game night. It's not often that I get to spend time with my immediate family, but a couple of weeks ago, I was able to hang out with my mom and my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephews, my husband, and we had a good old family game night. We played Mexican Train dominoes, which we love to do, and it was so much fun. I always enjoy our family game nights. When we get together with family, we really, really enjoy playing games together, and we don't do it as often as I wish we did, but it was really fun, and I'm happy I got to spend that time with my immediate family. Well, a few days after that game night, my mother-in-law passed away. So my husband's mom passed away on late night Friday, June 14th, going into June 15th. And since then, everything just changed, and we spent the last several days in preparation mode. We just had her burial this last Friday. So it's been long, emotionally heavy days, and that is why I'd been away. So the last community post that I posted here on my channel was just a very brief message saying I will need to be away for a bit, won't be able to post videos for a bit due to a death in the family, and that is what had happened. My mother-in-law passed away. She was 87 years old. She was on hospice. We were expecting it, but as much as you think you're prepared for it, it always hits you a bit hard. I've been married into the family for 11 years, and it is a huge loss for my husband's family, for our family. She was a matriarch, the glue that held everyone together, and we are so sorry she's passed, and we miss her already. I have not done any tags. I've been away. I felt like it was a busy season anyway before my mother-in-law's passing, and I haven't recorded any tags. I have a list of tags that I need to get to, but with time that will come. I will get back into the swing of things slowly. I feel like coming back to booktube is like playing double dutch jump rope. If you know what double dutch jump rope is, let me know in the comments. But I might just be dating myself. There was a time when on a playground in public school, girls would play jump rope, and I have fond memories of skipping the rope. And I loved jump roping. So anyway, you know that feeling of, if you don't know what jump roping, what double dutch is, it's when you play with two jump ropes, and the jumping in to the beat of the two jump ropes going um, can be challenging. So bear with me as I find my rhythm and the swing of things again. Okay, so about my reading life. You know, another thing that's impacted my reading life that I didn't really anticipate, and I think, why didn't I anticipate this? I took on new responsibilities at work, and this has changed my audiobook listening ability. So it's been about a month, I think, from end of May until now. So in the last month, I've taken on a new responsibility, and it is changed my availability to listen to audiobooks while I drive. And so that might change, and I might get back into the audiobook swing of things by end of summer. But for the time being, I find that getting through audiobooks is taking a lot longer than it normally would, just because I'm not listening to audiobooks at the same pace that I was. You know, and it's a balance, right? I think some of you might understand. Um, Audiobook listening, podcast listening, YouTube video watching. I want to listen to audiobooks, and I usually do that while I drive. Um, Listen to podcasts. I listen to podcasts in the mornings while I'm getting ready for work, at the end of the day when I'm winding down. And I watch YouTube videos all throughout, like just while I'm having a meal, if I'm eating alone. I like watching videos while I'm washing dishes, doing chores. Um, I've been doing the chores around the YouTube video watching, and not the audiobook listening. So it's it's a balancing act. So I say that to say that I only finished 2 books in the last couple of weeks since I've been posting on my channel. So I finished Savage Beauty by Nancy Milford, and this is the biography for the poet and playwright Edna St. Vincent Millay. And I'm really glad I read it. I feel like I have a more personal understanding of Edna St. Vincent Millay. I do want to say that I was shocked with how menopause was treated in the early 1900s, the early to mid 1900s. I think she was going through menopause in like 1930s, 1940s. And initially, when it started talking about her symptoms of menopause and chronic illnesses, she was given very high doses of narcotics. And I work in hospice, and I thought, well, like, she's taking more narcotics than some of my hospice patients take. So yeah, it was really interesting. I always find medical history to be so fascinating. When I read the biography of Cleopatra by Stacy Schiff, I was so not impressed in a good way, but like shocked, interested in a good way, like really drawn into the history of women's reproductive rights and women's reproductive health, and how women women's health was addressed in Cleopatra's time, and I was equally shocked and I want to say the word impressed, but I don't mean it in a good way. I mean like really left me thinking about how women's health was treated, how menopause was treated in the 1930s and 1940s. As a woman in her 40s, and I'm becoming more aware and in tune with symptoms of perimenopause and early menopause, and I am just shocked at how how women's health symptoms were assessed and treated. So, women's health is fascinating to me. If you have any recommendations for other biographies or works of literature that touch on medical history, um, particularly around women's health, but medical history in general is very fascinating. Um, yeah, I'd be interested to know. I would want to read other works of fiction or nonfiction. I also finished The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. Um, this was on my birthday bingo card back in May, so I'm still working my way through that birthday bingo. Um, yeah, I've been reading slowly. I am a slow reader. I am a slow reader, and I'm still working on that bingo card. So I had that book as one of the book options for that bingo card, and I finally did it. I listened to the audiobook and I gave it 4 stars. It was thrilling, it was exciting, it was captivating, it kept me wanting to listen. I guess I gave it 4 stars because it wasn't as thrilling as other books I've read this year that are of the same genre, but it was still really, really good. And I want to read more from Simone St. James. What I'm currently reading, I'm looking down at my notes. So, what I'm currently reading, I am in a buddy read with Melinda at Web of Stories. It's not a buddy read, but a group read. She's having a group read on her Discord, and we are all reading "O Pioneers" by Willa Cather. I just started it, so I'm not very far in. I love Willa Cather. I love Willa Cather's writing. Um, I think that this is going to be a very likely a 4 or 5 star read is my prediction, but I'm in the beginning of it, chapter 1 or 2, and might be in chapter 2 maybe, and I'm enjoying it. I like the writing. I'm still reading my way through The Princess and the Grilled Cheese by Deya Muniz, and this is a graphic novel. Um, this book, so my graphic novels, I tend to shelve them in my upstairs media room, and I usually read them when I'm upstairs. I'm probably just lounging and chilling out, and that's when I sit with the graphic novel. So that tells you that I probably don't lounge and chill out as much as I probably should. Um, I honestly spend most of my time in my kitchen because I'm a foodie. And so I don't get to sit with my graphic novels as often as I would like because I'm spending more time with my cookbooks um, and more time in the garden or more time in my car. So yeah, I don't think I lounge enough. Yeah. And it is still so hot. It's been raining a lot lately. If you wanted a weather update from me, it's been raining a lot. We just had like some of a tropical depression, light storm passed through these last few days. So it hasn't been nearly as hot as it was a few weeks back, but it's been raining. It's been kind of muggy. It's perfect mosquito weather. So I haven't been spending time in my hammock, but I'm really looking forward to that this summer. So I'm also still reading Sabrina and Corina by Fajardo-Anstine. This is a collection of short stories. I am about 50% in, and I am so loving it. I have a playlist that I'm working on Spotify for this collection. I am so in love with Gali Fajardo-Anstine's writing. I think she's big. I mean, this is the first I read from her, but I think she's an auto-author for me at this point. I've already purchased Woman of Light, which is the next book. I think that came out after Sabrina and Corina. I wanted to read it for June on the Range, but June is going to be over soon, and I haven't yet started it. But Sabrina and Corina is a collection of short stories set in the West, set mostly in the state of Colorado, and it is about life in Colorado. They are very character driven short stories, so it is about people. There's not a lot of like classical Western tropes. It's more internal landscapes of people who live in Colorado and their family situations, their personal grapplings with identity, culture, family, pain, grief, loss, love. Yeah, all of those themes. I am also still reading this one I have right on hand. Sabrina and Corina I have on my Kindle. And The Princess and the Grilled Cheese I have, like I said, upstairs. Oh Pioneers I have over there. I didn't bring it to my computer. And Larry McMurtry, In a Narrow Grave, Essays on Texas. This is a nonfiction essay collection by Larry McMurtry. I'm loving this. This is a book that I kept in my bag in the last couple of weeks. So any minute that I had where I had a little bit of alone time and downtime, I am in this collection. I love it. I love it. I love the Western landscape. I love the discussion of what it means to be a cowboy. I love the discussion of just life on the range, life on like the ranching life, the country life, the Western life, Texas rural life, and I'm I'm really interested in continuing with this. And I am also still reading Dune by Frank Herbert. I I started it. I'm not very far in to this book. I think what chapter is this? I'm in the first 50 pages of Dune. I've been meaning to get the audiobook started, but like I said, I haven't had much audiobook listening time, and I just finished Savage Beauty. I have Rough Beauty queued up, which I'll probably talk about that one next week. I haven't started it, but that's next on my queue. And then I also have Oh Pioneers that I'm kind of going between the physical copy and the audiobook. So that one is kind of going to be taking up some of the audiobook listening time, depending on how fast I'm reading the print copy that I have over there. So that's what I am reading. I have not DNF'd anything. I've been reading very slowly. I've been very patient with just life in general, with the time that is available to me, and I I just need to just go with the flow. So doing the best that I can. And community connections. So prior to my mother-in-law's passing, I would have said um, that Melinda at A Web of Stories has been just a really great friend. Um, and I reached out to her for suggestions for travel to Portland. I'm planning a trip to Portland in the fall, and I was really into my travel plans. Prior to my mother-in-law's passing, we booked a hotel. We were about to purchase our flights. We still haven't purchased the flights, but we were working on it. Um, we were just looking at what we wanted to do in Portland, and I was concerned with how am I going to fit Powell's bookstore into my time, and I reached out to Melinda for advice on how to strategize a visit to Powell's bookstore. Um, so thank you to Melinda for her help, um, her advice for strategizing that visit. And now, in the last week or so, in terms of community connection, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to this lovely community of readers who tune in to my channel, who've left really sweet, supportive messages on my community post about my family, my my family's loss and grief, and thank you for all the words of support. And um, I've been watching videos, and I feel like I don't have a lot of words, um, and I've just been gently letting people know that I'm still here and I'm watching and being supportive of my booktube friends and content creators. Um, and people have been really lovely. Everybody has been so supportive and kind, and I'm so grateful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. From my home to yours, thank you so much for your support and your love. Podcasts. So before my mother-in-law's passing, I feel like everything is before and after. Before, I was taking my time with Bridgerton, um, and I was just watching one a week. And then I think it was around the time of her passing, the day she passed, the whole second part of season 3 was released. Um, I had some time, can't remember when, but I think it was maybe in the last week or so. I had some time, like a block of time, where I just sat and just tried to like escape into the world of Bridgerton. So I was able to binge the last 4 episodes of Bridgerton, and that was nice to do that. I've been listening, so like podcast wise, I've just been listening to the official Bridgerton podcast that coincides with each episode, and it's been really interesting. I've really enjoyed listening to how the writers and directors of, and even the cast of Bridgerton, how they've interpreted the book by Julia Quinn, and the thoughtfulness that has gone into the production of the Netflix series has been really interesting. Um, I do need to say that Colin and Penelope's story in Bridgerton has not been my favorite, and the season has not been my favorite, but I've really enjoyed it. And it's okay that it has not been my favorite of the Bridgertons that I've read or watched, but um, I've still enjoyed it, and it's been nice to hear through the podcast um, how the book has played a role in laying out the production. So that's been interesting. I always like to know how a book is adapted, and so the little insights that I get from this podcast have been really delightful and satisfying. So speaking of satisfying, um, I want to talk about food. I want to talk about recipes. Okay, so recipes. I had a bit of an editing mix up here, so I'm recording this a little later. You would have seen the sunlight was brighter in my initial video, but nonetheless, here we go. So, two recipes to share. Recipe number one, cabbage tacos. So, I went to a taqueria in Brownsville, Texas, and it's called La Barra del Taco. And at this taqueria, they have an assortment of vegan fillings for vegan tacos. I ordered an assortment, so I ordered one of each taco, and I loved the cabbage tacos. I've since gone back and had them again. I think I've had them like 3 times now in the last 2 weeks. That's a lot. That's how much I liked it. So I was so like excited about these cabbage tacos, which is no surprise because one of my favorite taco recipes I've shared on my booktube channel here is Julia Turshen's cauliflower and red cabbage tacos, which are the bomb. They are so good. And these tacos are simpler because they don't have the cauliflower and they seem just to come together very easily. My mom and I made them. So I brought the inspiration after I had them at the taqueria, and I told my mom about them. Sorry, and they're really easy. So you just basically saute cabbage with your favorite taco seasoning and salt and pepper. And cabbage is so easy to saute. You can add beans. So get a corn flour tortilla, put some beans, put in the cabbage filling, and then sprinkle some lime juice, some freshly squeezed lime juice. Top it with some delicious salsa. I have been a major fan of really spicy habanero salsa. My mouth is like salivating. And, or if you don't like spice, just something mild, your favorite cilantro salsa or whatever your favorite salsa is, and maybe some avocado. It's so good. All your favorite taco toppings, just put them in there. It's so good. I don't think you'll miss the meat. I know I've been vegan for a really long time. I don't miss the meat, but they're really satisfying. Okay, so recipe number two. This recipe came to my inbox earlier today, and I ordered the stuff I needed. I just needed a couple of items from the store. I ordered them, was going to make them today, but my husband and I were not on the same wavelength in terms of our appetites and palates. So we didn't get to have them today. They will probably be in our weekly meal plan at some point this week. And these are the Tofuna. Here we go. Tofuna tofu salad or sandwich spread. The title is Ridiculously Easy Tofuna, Tofu Salad or Sandwich Spread. This is from the Vegan Atlas, and the author is Nava Atlas. I follow Nava Atlas on Substack. And it says, Tofuna, aka tuna cell tofu salad, made with baked tofu, is my go-to recipe as a sandwich spread. The super easy tofu salad recipe is as good as an at-home vegan lunch, a light dinner, and a portable midday meal. Serve over leafy greens or spread on your favorite bread. I know it's delicious. If I get to make this, I probably will get to make this week. I'll definitely post about it on my community post. So there's 5 ingredients. 2 are optional. So it's basically, you could basically make this with just 3 ingredients, and I'll talk through the recipe with you in just a minute while I pull it up. Okay, so these are the ingredients. An 8-ounce package of baked tofu, a half a cup vegan mayo, 1 large celery stalk, finely diced. Optional ingredients is 1 scallion and 2 tablespoons nutritional yeast. The nutritional yeast probably gives it a little bit of a cheesy taste. And the instructions are simple. There's 2 instructions. 1, using your hands, crumble the tofu. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, you prefer to put the tofu in a food processor, that works too. I think with just the way I'm feeling, I might just really enjoy tearing that tofu apart with my hands. So you crumble it, and you add mayo and celery, you mix, and if you want to add scallions and nutritional yeast, you can add those, and then you just serve. And you can serve over a salad of greens, or you can spread onto a slice of bread and make a sandwich, or an open witch, you know, a sandwich, open witch. Okay, so yeah, those are 2 recipes that I think are just so tasty. And that's it. So I always end these week in review videos with what I'm looking forward to. I have been talking about looking forward to making some videos, and I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things. The videos that I have pending that I have been excited about are, I have a ridiculously huge book haul. So I had created some breaks in the Read What You Own challenge to get some books, mostly around my birthday. And oh my God, it's embarrassing how many books I've added to my collection. So I will be filming that. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also embarrassed with just the amount of books that I have acquired. But I'm excited. Mixed emotions, right? And I'm also have 2 collab videos. One is for celebrating or commemorating having reached 100 subscribers here on my channel. I've been trying to put together a collab video with an in real life friend, and I need to schedule that. I've just, one thing after another has been popping up, but hopefully that'll get worked on soon. And I'm also planning to do a collab video with Ellen at Ellen Made Book Club. We read Marina by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and I'm going to touch base with her to see how we're going to do it. But I'm really excited when that video comes to your feed here on my channel. I hope you enjoy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to travel plans. I am planning to travel to Austin soon, in a couple of weeks. So that week of 4th of July, I may not be able to post, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Hasta la próxima, and happy reading.